Hey, Springview family. I'm excited to announce that Springview will be resuming our in-person worship services on this coming Sunday, December 13th. You know, when to hold worship services and how to do it safely during a pandemic is a complex decision-making process. For Springview, these decisions have been informed by three strong priorities that aren't always easy to reconcile. The first is we want to protect our church family's physical health. Secondly, we want to protect our testimony in the community that God has placed us in. And then third, we want to protect the spiritual and emotional welfare of our people by staying open for worship whenever possible. These values are sometimes in tension, and the debates and conflicts that afflict our society as a whole make it even more difficult. For instance, the uncertainty about how well masks or lockdowns actually work, or the brutal economic toll that the lockdowns have wrought, or the troubling aggrandizement of power it sometimes seems by some of our elected officials. Many people frustrated by the hypocrisy of some of our political leaders who feel free to issue draconian restrictions on the public but then don't abide by them themselves. And, of course, to top all of it off, a bitterly fought and polarizing presidential election. As citizens of this country, we are concerned about all those things. But as Christians, we know that our citizenship ultimately lies in a different kingdom, and our greatest allegiance to a much greater and more glorious King. So the last thing we want to do is drag all of those conflicts into the church and make the church the place where we fight all these things out. How wonderful, how refreshing it would be if the church were the place people could go to get away from all of that conflict and instead find deep spirituality and true friendship as we focus together on what matters the most, the glory and beauty and the all-satisfying love of Jesus Christ. Our main concern is to stay safe and to stay open. And we believe we can confidently and safely reopen for in-person worship services if we take the proper safety precautions. At this point in the pandemic, the proper safety precautions look like requiring everybody to wear protective masks while they're inside the church building, with the exception of children who are under the age of 5. We feel especially confident about this in part because of the testimony of one of our own church members, James Harrell. James's company, Springfield Urgent Care, has seen many thousands of sick patients over the last 8 months. They've tested, they've been in close proximity to, even touched thousands of patients who've tested positive for COVID-19. And here's the thing, not even one of his 60 employees have contracted the virus in the course of their work. And it's remarkable, and it's because they require their employees to wear masks at all times. We feel confident that with that same precaution, it can protect us just as well as we worship here together at Springview. We aren't installing this mask requirement because there is in the church somewhere some constituency that loves to wear masks. I've yet to meet a single person that does. No, we're doing it because our biggest priorities are staying safe and staying open. And wearing masks gives us confidence that we can do both of those things. It really is a small price to pay. And furthermore, it's a great way for us to humble ourselves and look out for the needs of others, look out for the needs of the more fearful or the more at risk who are among us. The other main aspect of our safety policy is that no one should come to church if they feel sick or show symptoms of any kind. Even if you feel confident it's just allergies or it's just your annual December cold or whatever else you might suspect it to be. Please stay home if you don't feel well, if you show any symptoms of any kind of being sick. We will look forward to having you back here as soon as you're well. And we'll be providing a video of the service for those who aren't able to attend and be here with us. Now, while Awana will not be resuming until after the holidays, we will be relaunching Springview Kids immediately this coming Sunday. And as before, kids will go immediately to their classes rather than what we usually have done in the past, which is to start out in the service here with the adults. We will not expect those in the preschool class to wear masks, but we are going to expect it from the older kids class, the one that meets downstairs. Many of those kids already have experience wearing masks through school all day. Youth group also will be relaunching soon, and your teens can expect to receive some more information about that in the coming days. We will be taking these safety precautions really seriously because we're really serious about both staying safe and staying open. Meeting together in person is so important for our emotional and spiritual well-being that we really are willing to put up with the inconvenience and frustration of having to wear a mask for an hour and a half every week. Remember, this isn't forever. We'll be carefully monitoring the virus situation in society as a whole, and as the government and health officials begin to relax the requirements outside of here, we'll do the same. You know, we have endured and sacrificed already as a church over the last 9 months, and if we persevere with wisdom and with humble caution for just a few more months, we can reach the end of this pandemic able to hold our heads high, say we did our part, we were good neighbors, we looked out not just for our own interest, but for the welfare of our community, and not just for ourselves. And perhaps God will be pleased to use that care and concern to show his love to people who might not otherwise see it. So let's stay safe and stay open. I'm praying that we will finish this pandemic well and that God will be honored above all. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you this next Sunday. Have a great rest of this week.